The Gorge was released in 2025, and it became a very popular action horror movie around the world. The story of this movie is a bit different from other films. In the beginning, we see a young woman named Drasa. She is a sniper hiding inside a dark cave. She has been waiting there for many days. She's waiting for someone, and when that person finally appears, she quickly shoots him with her sniper. After the shot, she picks up the empty bullet shell and puts it in her pocket. Then the scene changes. We meet a man named Louis, pronounced Louis. He is a former army soldier, ready and steps out of his place. His dog is also with him. Suddenly, Louis gets a message on his phone. The message is about a special project. Louis goes to meet a woman named Miss Partho. She checks all of Louis's records and is very impressed by his experience. She tells him some numbers related to the project, but Louis smiles and says, "I have done more kills than that." Ms. Partho starts asking him deep questions about his life, especially about his girlfriend and past. Then she gives him a mission and tells him to sign the contract. Next, we are taken to a place called Provalka, Lithuania, pronounced Provahalka, Lithuania. Here, Drasa meets her father. Every year, she visits her father. She gives him the empty bullet shells from all the people she was hired to kill through contracts. Drasa tells her father, "I can't even sleep at night because of this job." Her father replies, "Stay with me then." But she says, "Not yet." He then says, "Then I will sacrifice myself someday." Later in the movie, we see a helicopter flying in the sky. There are several people inside, including Louis. He's now starting his project. This mission is between the United States and Russia. For 1 year, all of Louis's personal things, like his farm and belongings, are taken under the company's control. Louis jumps from the helicopter with a parachute and lands deep in the forest. There he meets a man named Jack, who is also an officer. Jack has been living in that area for the past 1 year, but now his duty is over, and he hands over all the instructions and responsibilities to Louis. Jack tells him about 2 towers. One is called the East Tower, and the other is the West Tower. Between these 2 towers, there is a very thick fog or mist. That fog is called the Gorge, the same name as the movie. Jack packs his things and leaves. Now Louis is completely alone in this strange, dangerous place. Life here becomes very difficult for him. We see Louis loading bullets into his gun. He checks the tracking machine and verifies all the instructions that Jack gave him earlier. But on the other side, something terrible happens. A helicopter comes to pick up Jack, but as soon as Jack tries to get in, someone shoots him and throws him into the deep pit. The same pit called the Gorge. The next morning, Arthur was struggling to pass the time. He looked around and noticed a bookshelf. Behind the books, every soldier who had spent a year at this place had written something. Messages, notes, memories. They were all there. While reading those writings, he suddenly heard a sound. Curious, he picked up his binoculars and looked toward the West Tower. There he saw a girl standing. Her name was Drasa. They were too far apart to talk, but they saw each other clearly. Days passed, and soon it was October. One day, Drasa was celebrating her birthday. Slowly, the 2 of them found a way to communicate using signs and boards. They would write messages for each other and show them across the gorge. Drasa shared that she loved to dance. Arthur, also called Leva, replied that he loved to shoot. They started showing off their skills to each other. But one day during target practice, their gunfire made a loud noise. Because of that, strange creatures living in the gorge started climbing towards both towers, from east and west. The 2 of them worked together and shot down the creatures. That moment built a strong bond between them. To keep themselves busy, they started doing different activities. Drasa played the piano, while Arthur kept his tower bright and active. He used lights and tools to make the place feel alive. As December came, the snow started falling. And with that, they found a new way to enjoy the cold. They began making snow figures. Drasa made a snowman that looked like Arthur, and Arthur made one that looked like her. They looked at each other's creations through binoculars and smiled with joy. They played chess together. Arthur also played the drums, and Drasa listened happily. Then came February 14th, Valentine's Day. But for Drasa, it was not a happy day. Her father had once told her, "On this day, I will end my life." That memory made her feel broken inside. She told Arthur, "I need someone today." Arthur wanted to reach her, He worked hard to create a path across the jungle using a long cable. He planned everything carefully. He would use a special suit and slide across the cable to reach Drasa at the West Tower. When he finally reached her, he smelled terrible because of the gravity, pressure, and all the effort he used to travel across. But he made it. He washed up and joined Drasa for a special dinner. That night, Drasa shared the truth. Her father had taken his own life. Arthur, too, opened up and said, "We all have army backgrounds. We all carry our past." Their connection grew deeper, and they danced together under the cold sky. That night, they fell asleep in each other's arms. But the next morning, Arthur had to return to the East Tower. As he was sliding back halfway across the cable, something hit it. The wire broke, and Arthur fell straight into the gorge. At the same time, Drasa gathered some supplies and quickly jumped after him using a parachute. The last thing we see is her flying into the gorge, where the air was thick, the light was fading, and even the color of the meat looked yellow. As the fog kept changing its color, it also showed how dangerous it was. The color told you whether it was a little dangerous or very dangerous. One day, Lovi got stuck somewhere. Suddenly, a strange creature attacked him. He quickly used his gun and shot it, saving himself. But just as he fell onto a tree, the tree started wrapping itself around him, like it was trying to swallow him. Thankfully, Drasa arrived in time and saved him. Both of them were actually really skilled shooters. Many types of strange creatures kept appearing, but together they fought back and survived each time. While walking further, they saw how the yellow fog slowly turned into purple. This meant extreme danger. The place they reached was a destroyed part of the open harbor. It had been damaged long ago, back when they were preparing nuclear bombs to protect themselves from enemy countries. Both of them held their guns in shooting position, ready for anything. Creatures could have jumped out from anywhere. They found a church and decided to hide inside. But what they didn't know was that this church was actually the most dangerous place of all. Multiple terrifying creatures attacked them there. They were fast, smart, and aggressive. Drasa and Lovi used all their skills and barely escaped. While running for their lives, they found a big door. Drasa opened it, and they both rushed inside. Once they entered, they realized the place looked like a lab from 1946. It had old machines and computers. As they explored, they found something surprising. A system turned on, and a projector started playing. A female scientist appeared on the screen. She said they had been experimenting with human DNA here, but something went very wrong. Now the trees, animals, even the people, had changed into strange living beings. Trees were bleeding like humans, plants were breathing, and people were slowly turning into a mix of humans, bugs, and trees. That experiment had gone horribly wrong, and it gave birth to dangerous, mutated creatures. Lovi and Drasa kept exploring the lab and found some working computer parts. They searched for more information and discovered a company named Dark Mill. This company was working on secret projects, like how to make human DNA more powerful and how to create super soldiers. Lovi found files showing a powerful missile, one that could destroy a massive area if launched. Then a message played from someone named Jack. He told Lovi, "If you ever hear a voice from underground, run as fast as you can." That's when everything started to make sense to Lovi. He realized how this place had been disconnected from the whole world by powerful women who didn't want anyone to find out. Even the US and Russian governments had no idea what was happening here between the towers. Once their research was complete, they left the lab. But just outside, in the dangerous purple zone, a creature threw a bag in front of them. It was their bag, the one loaded with important supplies. Drasa bent forward to pick it up, but Lovi warned her, it could be a trap. But at that moment, they were low on bullets and badly needed the stuff inside. As soon as Drasa grabbed the bag, the creature leapt forward, picked her up, and disappeared into the red zone, the most dangerous area of all. We already know that red means the highest level of danger, even more than purple or yellow. Now we wait to see what new threat appears next. It's clear that the creatures will try to test Drasa's DNA. The one that took her looked half human, but had strange branch-like growths coming out of its body. That creature might be a former worker or soldier, someone who had once been human, but turned into a monster due to those same DNA experiments. Because of a failed experiment, They get trapped in a strange and dangerous place. We see how Drasa fights a creepy creature. She uses everything she can to protect herself, but nothing seems to work until she grabs a stick that's on fire. She hits the creature with it. Since the creature looks like a human-shaped tree with weird branches, it catches fire quickly and burns right there. Levi also shoots it just to make sure it's dead. Then we find out how that man even got there. It turns out that Partho used to assign people to guard this place, but she never brought them back. Instead, she let them die there. Over time, dangerous gas filled the area, and anyone who stayed there for even a few hours started turning into something else, something not human. As they leave that creepy place, they reach an even stranger area. Here, tree-like creatures that look like humans are breathing in carbon dioxide, and they look terrifying. Drasa steps on a plant by accident, and suddenly the trees wake up and start attacking them. Levi quickly pulls out his weapon and begins chopping the trees down. In the end, he sets them on fire, destroying them and saving their lives. After escaping that area, they come across a vehicle. It helps them a lot because they use it to speed away. They drive so fast that they move from the red zone, the most dangerous area, into the purple zone, and then finally into the yellow zone. On the way, they fight off more strange creatures. That's when they spot Drasa's rope, which had fallen earlier. They hook it to the car and start pulling themselves up. As they rise, more creatures begin climbing the wall following them. Levi bravely fights them off. He opens the gas lid of the car and sets fire to it. The explosion causes the car and the creatures to fall and burn. Levi and Drasa manage to grab the rope just in time, and they climb safely up to the tower. Once they're safe, Drasa tells Levi that she has a house in France. She says they can go there and live in peace, far away from all this madness. But first, Levi needs to go to the East Tower. They make a plan to place bombs on both towers and destroy them forever. When Levi reaches the East Tower, his connection to Partho is triggered. She finds out that some computers down in the lab were activated. Levi tells Partho that he has no idea how that happened. Partho guesses that maybe it was the West Tower's doing. But then Levi gets some photos that reveal their escape plan, and Partho realizes they're trying to run away. She sends helicopters after them immediately. Levi and Drasa rush to plant the bombs and escape. Before the helicopters arrive, they've already wired everything. But Partho is smart. She sends drones after them. Drasa escapes beyond the blast range, but Levi is not so lucky. The drones attack him hard. In a desperate move, he fires and causes a massive explosion. The blast is so strong that Levi gets thrown into the water. Drasa waits for him for 5 days near the blast zone. She knows that the chemicals in the water might change him into something different, something like her. She believes he will come back, but after 5 days, she gives up and leaves. A few days later, we see Drasa working as a waitress in France. Suddenly, she spots someone familiar. It's Levi. He walks up to her and jokingly says, "Will I find rabbit pie here in France?" Drasa smiles and laughs. In that moment, they express their love for each other. And that's how this unique, heart-pounding story ends. Truly a different kind of sci-fi adventure from the year 2025. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed the explanation, please like, subscribe, and share to support the channel. See you in the next movie explanation. Stay awesome.